It's the Sunday service. The super dance team. Disco be a warning. Doobie doobie doo, doobie doo.
Oh my God, am I muted? Oh my God! Will I ever have a rainbow? Right, okay. So, as I was saying, very happy to bring you the Sunday service today, which is now not muted on the day that the Lionesses won their second European Championship, this time on foreign soil. I'm not muted anymore. I'm okay now. I know that it's still going to keep coming in. I'm going to wait until you say, this is better. You're speaking now and I can hear you. Let me just check on my other stream. European Championship. Right, I can. I've checked it. We don't have any producers. This is all massively low budget. Thank you for letting me know that I have once again muffed up the beginning of my live stream. I'm not still muted. I know I'm not still muted because I can actually hear it. I can hear it back now. I'm a bit later than usual tonight because I have been watching on tenterhooks for the entire match, the entire 90 minutes, and then extra time, and then penalties. But the women beat the world champions, España, on penalties. Thanks to, there's only one Chloe, bashing it in with a cheeky little kick, I would say. I'm a massive football fan, always have been. Watched every championship since I was a kid. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I would see the women's game get this amount of, respect and coverage, broadly coverage. But, sadly not respect from a lot of men. There's still sadly a lot of men out there who don't take it seriously because it's women. That's an unfortunate reality that we live in still, because I think a bunch of them are too busy watching or trying to burn down hotels at the moment, aren't they? Bear with me a second, I'm just double checking. The reason it was disallowed was because it was a two-touch penalty. And then she obviously went on to it was a save. But my blood pressure is just about settling. And I watched the entire game. I think it's the first game that I've ever watched England play where I was completely stone cold sober, like hadn't had a single bevy. I'm having a little juice now. Just to wet my whistle, so to speak. But wow, what a match. What an amazing game of passion and spirit and pride. It's giving us something to be proud of. And I'm wearing my jumper because this is my lucky jumper that I wear for every England game. I had to wear this through the summer out of fear that if I didn't win it that we would lose, because it's one of those superstitions, as if it's all hinging on some idiot wearing an Adidas jumper. Anyway, welcome to the chat. I'm just going to have a little look to see if there's anything that I've missed. I don't think there is anything that I've missed in the chat. It's been another week of radicalised far-right morons going out, and there was an article released by The Guardian, actually. Let me just find the exact figures for you. My phone is a absolute nightmare of screenshots and such. Yeah. Okay, so You remember the riots that broke out in Hull when the riots broke out? 47 of the 151 men arrested had been previously reported for domestic abuse. Yeah. And at the one of the guys that was at the forefront of the Southport riots, Gareth Metcalfe, he was described by the judge as being at the forefront of the disorder, had previous convictions including sexual assault and breach of a non-molestation order. So, wow. Oh, the Metropolitan Police said that there were 165 arrests in Whitehall last summer in connection with the riots, 48 of whom had previously been reported for domestic abuse. Are we seeing a little pattern here? Almost as if these guys aren't, you know, Jermaine fucking Greer, and they're standing up for women's rights, because what they're doing at the riots is what they do to the women at home. Yeah. Almost as if it's not actually about kids, when you've got loads and loads and loads of members of EDL who were done for all manner of shocking crimes against children and women, including someone that was very close to Robinson. Yeah. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine when white men do it, isn't it? And that's fine. Do you know what it's about? It's about ownership. This is what this is. This is about ownership of women. It's like they're ours to abuse and hit and attack in all manner of ways. You know, that they're not letting some foreigner touch our women. That's what the mentality is behind this. It's because they think they own us. They don't fucking own us. They don't represent any of us, actually. They're national. They're an emblem of national shame. That's what they are. And the women that we're playing tonight are a symbol of national pride, and they give us a reason to be cheerful and a reason to be proud of that flag. The scroats that lack any form of real, you know, independent imagination, the men that go out and kick the shit out of people and chase black people down the street, but no, it's not racist. They bring shame to our country. They're the men who go abroad to watch football and get a ban for life for hooliganism. That's who they are, because they don't achieve anything in their lives. No, they don't achieve anything. And they're jealous of women and the communities that we build and the life that we give. And they have every opportunity in the world. Every opportunity. They're not held back by anything. And that's how they choose to spend their time. It's fucking embarrassing, mate. Embarrassing. I hope they're watching this tonight as well. I really do. Because I put this on Twitter. And that's where loads of them, whilst, countering the points that I make, like to throw in the odd, essay threat. Yeah. As they sit there knocking the women's game, resting a bag of Doritos on their paunch, going, a men's five-a-side could beat the air. Of course you could, mate. They're living in a fucking dream world. Anyway, rant semi-over. Got any questions for me, you bunch of schlags? And a very good evening to you too, Yuri. And again, thank you. I think we've got Diz being our mod, the mod with the mostest. Thank you very much for jumping on to stream. I'm sorry, there's no excuse for me. I'm all fired up. I'm so sick. I'm so sick of the worst things that we have to endure because of men like them being weaponized as a reason to be racist. It's just so fucking boring, man. And you know what? They're like little subs as well. You know, anyone that's familiar with the BDSM world will know that you've got your subs and your doms, haven't you? These men, they're the little subs that follow the instructions faithfully. Very faithfully of the millionaires and the billionaires that are directing them from fucking private members clubs. Yes, sir, we'll go out and we'll smash up the stuff. Oh, yeah, go on. Yeah. It's like the men in the wars that were all kind of like upper class souls, sitting there with their cup of tea as all the proles went out and got obliterated. Except these guys are willingly doing it. They're willingly offering their heads to like ultra rich men, licking the boots. So submissive. It's disgusting. You know? And they think they're real men. Ugh. They go home to their unfulfilled wives and girlfriends, long suffering, alienated, you know. Probably don't even have jobs, you know, don't do anything useful with their lives, you know. That's what we're dealing with here. The lowest common denominator cunts. Anyway. What's going on in the chat? The first England team in history to win a major tournament abroad. Absolutely. We won in Wembley last time. We won in Wembley. I mean, you know, I'm not got anything against power dynamics. You know, consensually. Consensual power dynamics are fun. You know, as long as you've got a safe word, it's all good. The problem is this is being thrust upon us non-consensually by these men, which is something, according to the stats, which is something they do regularly to women. Weird how it all adds up, isn't it? Almost as if they're the very thing that they're accusing other people of being, isn't it? Fucking shameful, man. It's disgusting to me. Absolutely disgusting. Anyway, thrust. I can't do it with quite the prowess of, well, thank God, of that, you know, Russian asset, George Galloway, who can roll his R's. But, you know, I cried. I cried ugly tears watching the Lionesses win too, actually. I'm just going to bring up my phone because I think that I've lost track of the chat. No, I can see the chat there. Chat, talk to me. What's been on your mind this week? Is there anything you want to ask me about this week? I'm willing to answer any question within reason. So give me a reason. Give me a reason to love you. Portishead there. Got Portishead there. I'm just going to pause because apparently there's a advert. I'm off. She is rambling insane misandry, says Itching the Think. You're not itching to think, are you? Rambling insane misandry. I think you'll find that what you call misandry is consequences, dear, and accountability for the global male violence statistics. Any decent man in the chat will sit there and go, I'm infuriated that 90+% of men worldwide commit all of the violent and sexual crimes. That's what proper men are like. And they join the fight against it. Do you know what losers do who have no critical thinking, can only think about themselves, is they think about how that being done to women impacts them. And do you know what? Gloves are off, mate. I'm calling out every instant. I'm screenshotting every instance of it now. So if you want to do it and you want to be like that towards me on a public page, I'm going to find out where you work. I'm going to find out who your wife is and I'm going to send it to her. Because that's accountability. Otherwise it's like punching someone in the face and then complaining that your fist hurts. So weak, mate. Weak. Anyway, I've got a super chat in. Thank you. Peter, Peter Kenolt? Why do you guys do this to me every week with your names? Now I have a disturbing image of Farage in a gimp mask, thanks. Oh no, he's not the gimp. No, all the people at the little rallies, you know, desperate for Farage to touch it. Yeah, they're the gimps. Farage is like the daddy, you know. He's the man that's kind of like playing them all like puppets, you know. That's what he is. Okay, Urine Infectinov, thank you, darling, for the £10 super chat. As I have... Right, okay, I'm going to read this again slowly because I've got all kind of overstimulated from being... hang on a minute. I have had to have a huge blockfest on Facebook as a hell of a lot of my friends are now huge Farage Trump fans. They are lost and don't seem to be able to form coherent sentences. Yeah, that's common. Yeah, they often can't form coherent sentences. They also can't do your, and your properly. You know, your and your. You are, yours. You know, it's a lost cause. Facts are their kryptonite. You know, Trump as well. These are the very people that are claiming to be about protecting our kids, protecting our women. Might want to look into the charges that were brought against Trump regarding a 12-year-old girl. 2 minors, countless adult essay allegations. But yeah, it's always all about women, isn't it? Except it's not at all about women. Never is. Never ever is. And so many women out there think that by standing with their number one apex predator, that they're going to be somehow saved from all of this. By you know, the women out there who think that by internalizing that misogyny, I'd invite those women to Google the terms joy division, the real meaning of joy division. I'd invite them to look at how women were treated the last time that we had authoritarianism at this level. It always works out so well for women in war zones, doesn't it? We are the spoils of war. We're literally used. Unbelievable. Anyway, thank you, Yuri. I feel your pain, but I, long ago, did that. Like, I have a zero tolerance policy now. Members of my family, I will not talk to because they started sharing. I tried to reason with them privately, wouldn't work. Started sharing kind of like racist memes or like, you know, Britain First style memes. Get in the bin. Get in the bin. It's a value thing. If you don't have values, then off you fuck. Okie dokie. Kirsty Hamill. Is it Hamill or Hamilton? I'm so sorry if I've not got that right. It's only showing me some of your name. Thank you for the super chat there. All you're saying is South Park. Yeah, they're back. They're back and they are not pulling any punches. They're at Paramount now, aren't they? I didn't know that they were still going because I remember in the 90s it was so subversive. Like the Simpsons used to be, when they used to like basically predict everything. You know, it was wild. But yeah, they laid into Trump in a big way. And that's a really important way to dispel and disarm the fascists. It's a perfect way to do it. You mock them. They can't do anything with mocking. It's like those memes of J.D. Vance where he's got like the big blueberry head, you know. It's it works. Ridicule, if anything taught me about the last years of the Tories, it's that ridicule works. Learn how to spell misandry before you accuse someone of it, fool. Yeah. Thank you again, Kirsty. Thank you guys for that. Right, okay. I'm just getting down to the chats, the bottom of the chats. A lot of people talking about Zara Sultana and Corbyn's new, whatever the hell it's called, party. even having a mild opinion on this has once again caused me a few problems online this week. I've actually been writing again. Rumours of my demise have been vastly overstated by mostly myself. I was having a very bad month. As you can tell, I've got my beans back. That's not a euphemism. I've got my beans back. And I've been thinking a lot about this Zara Sultana and Corbyn thing. I have a very pragmatic view on it as I approach all politics pragmatically. And the thing is, people wrongly assume that if you stick to the kind of the facts of the matter and the reality of the situation, people wrongly assume that you're defending that. Like, if I'll sit there and I'll go, first past the post has entered the chat, we haven't got proportional representation, people go to like Farage fan level on your ass about it. Oh, thanks, Tiny, moving the camera around. People get weird. People start getting, abusive. They start kicking off at you. And I had the Left Bible, the outlet, the Left Bible, because I said it was shambolic. The launch has been objectively shambolic. I just said it was a shambolic launch, and all I said was that, it's rare to find someone that makes Labour's comms look good. So it was a dig at Labour. I was like, oh my God, like, how someone made Labour look like they can do communications, right? And I had the Left Bible simultaneously call me a genocide supporter and a reform enabler. What? Like, are you all right, hun? Like, what on earth are you talking about? Or they think that you kind of like, you support like everything Labour's doing just because you're pointing out the reality that this has been proven in test polls. Like, the projected polls would show that it would just pave the way for Reform to win the next general election. And I'm not being funny, right? As much as I am annoyed with Labour, and I am very, very annoyed with Labour, as much as I'm annoyed with Labour, I would prefer them to actual fascists, funnily enough. Yeah. I mean, neoliberalism, mishandling, horrific overseas situations, not rejoining the single market, stoking the tensions of racism, bad, obviously, investing in public services, paying our NHS workers, bringing back Sure Start, transphobia, obviously, they're doing good and bad, okay, but they're not, whatever you say about them, they're not fascists, right? Given the choice between, I don't know, privatising the NHS, selling all our data to Peter Thiel, and robbing us blind like the Tories did whilst following Faragean policy, I think I'll take Labour over that. But I agree that we shouldn't be in a position where it's one or the other, your only option is the least bad option. Like, people are naturally pissed off about that. And they have every right to be pissed off about that. Like, our electoral system isn't fair. Our electoral system is not fair. We need a new electoral system. We need voter reform. We need some form of proportional representation, because it's not fair the way it's set up with I've got to back the least worst option now. It's just not working for a lot of people, and that is adding to the tensions, I think, because people feel powerless to do anything about it. And it's like the situation in Gaza. There's talk of Parliament being recalled to deal with that issue. 2 years too late for any government to deal with that. Obviously, this is Labour's first year in power. They've had a year to stop selling weapons to Israel. They've had a year to be outraged. These war crimes have been going on since the start. When you've got huge protests on the street for... The other day there was one for trans rights. 100,000 people turned out. There's been enormous protests week on week over Gaza. You ignore that many people at your peril. I think it was Alistair Campbell that said, for every person that turns out, 6 people want to. You know, that's what he spoke about when he talked about the public opinion and how they fucked up Iraq. So they're not giving progressive people what they want. Regressive people are not going to give them the vote. What the hell are you doing with your majority? You know, this is why people are crying out for something that's another option. And that's why Corbyn's party and Sultana's party, whatever the fuck it's called, is bringing people some form of alternative. Like, they want some form of hope. And the only ideologically, I have no opposition to that. I have no opposition to people wanting something better. Like, wanting something that represents how they feel and represents them and what matters to them. Absolutely no ideological opposition to that. I'm not a Labour member anymore. I'm not likely to be for a while. And if at all, if I'm a member of any party again, ever, I probably won't be a member of any party again, ever. But I don't have a problem on an ideological level. The thing that bothers me about it is that none of the people in terms of fringe parties, because you don't have this split, as much of a split on the right. You've got Lib Dems, Greens, now this other new party, and Labour tussling it out on the progressive side. And it's precisely what the right want. Like, you're playing into their hands. And Corbyn and Sultana will know better than anyone how our voting system works, and that they haven't got a hope in hell. And that's why I call it performative and ego-driven. Because it is, really. Because they're not going to tell... Not everyone that loves them is going to know that they're not going to have a cat's chance in hell of winning an election. And that's the bit that really bothers me about it. That and the fact that I don't want another old man in charge of things. It's not called your party. It's not called your party. They've said repeatedly that it's not called that. They've asked people for ideas. And I was like, all right, mate, when I'm on 90 grand a year plus like you are, then I'll give you ideas about how to do your job, which is apparently protesting. I have no problem with protesting. I have a problem with paying for people to protest, which is what we're doing with both of those particular politicians. What they say, I agree with. Like, on many points, I agree with what they have to say. What I find really annoying about it is that they know that they can't win, and they know what it's going to do to the political landscape. And my only hope is that they're going to, like with UKIP and the Tories, force like a turn of a direction in Labour away from this insane blue Labour bullshit. I mean, I'm just as angry at all of them. You know, it's not like I'm sitting here, like, I'm not defending Labour's actions. Like, I'm incredibly unhappy with how Labour have handled things and how they're continuing to with this blue Labour bullshit. Like, I'm very unhappy about it. Extremely unhappy about it. But did I miss something? I think I've missed something up here. Right, sorry, Yuri, thank you very much, my dear, for the £5 super chat. The far left and far right are like a rabid dog. The left bare their teeth at the slightest provocation, whilst the right shit themselves. Oh dear. Yeah. It's it's a fucking mess, man. Because unfortunately, like, a lot of people that blindly like follow Corbyn are very much like the people that blindly follow Farage. Obviously, ideologically not the same, but it manifests in a similar way. Like, they both accuse the mainstream media of going for them. Although arguably the mainstream media's gone for Corbyn more than Farage. They've helped Farage, you know. But both also kind of fall into conspiracy pipelines and throw mad insults if you just point out a simple fact. And that's not conducive to kind of like fair-minded debate. It's not very in touch with reality. And that's what bothers me about it. People have got to know the facts to make an informed decision. If most of the people that are signing up to you don't know that you're never going to have any chance of winning an election and you're simply going to be a protest and you could help Reform win, that's a problem to me. But I also think that Labour could sort out a lot of their problems by simply implementing press reform, rejoining the single market and changing our voting system. Because, let's face it, 2 out of those 3 aren't benefiting them. Our economy's fucked because we've got, you know, not enough realignment with Europe. The press fucking hate Labour, and they always will. And we've got, you know, the Telegraph last week published that the police in Essex at the Epping riots were bussing in rioters. They were not. They've not retracted it. Farage said it and then like only mildly backtracked on it. This is disinformation via the press. And then you get kind of like Labour ministers going, oh, well, they have a right to Are you fucking high? Like, I'm sorry, you're contributing to disorder in your country. You're contributing to division. So this is all contributing to people also wanting an alternative to Labour, because they're looking at Labour and going, they're like 2 cheeks of the same arse. And it's very difficult to disprove that at this present moment. Incredibly difficult. Anywho, I'm gonna have a sip of my juice, I think. Starmer, I still say, is politically a dead man walking, says Spurious. The signs are there that his grip is slipping and the inevitable next crisis or 2 will see him disposed. I don't agree with you, because that's not how Labour rolls. Well, it's not how Labour used to roll. It's not how they've historically rolled. They don't get rid of their leaders. Unlike the Tories, they just don't. Like, they even if they're ineffectual and they're shit, they just don't. They don't oust readily. So yeah, this isn't peaceful protest though. This is being sparked by disinformation online. Radicalisation online. It's not protest. Yuri has been a member for 3 months. Boosh, big up yourself. I didn't see Phil's show earlier regarding trans issues. No, I missed it. But Rachel did post it in our politics social group with a big up to Philip. Philip? I don't know why I called him Philip. Philip Morehouse. Yeah, there was a massive protest, as there should be. Because this matters to people. And Labour are really out of touch with the public mood on this. We're quite likely to lose the NHS under reform. People don't really realise just how much everything costs. They don't realise how much it costs to run the NHS. How much it costs to have basic treatment on the NHS. They just don't have any idea whatsoever. And people also don't realise just how fascistic someone's going to be until they're in power. And there's a lot of people regretting voting for Trump. His approval ratings are not good. That's why he's hiding out in Scotland to avoid paedophile allegations. So I don't get why Labour comms is so crap. You and me both, mate. You and me both, Wendy. Wendy, darling, light of my life. I don't understand why they're thinking about hiring an ex-Sun editor as their DOC. It's like, oh, things are going really badly. Why don't I introduce this fox into the chicken coop? That's a good idea, isn't it? Let's just pop this massive hungry fox in the chicken coop. Yeah, for the Sun. Are they high? Do they just want none of Liverpool to ever vote for them again? Is that what it is? Very, 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 very annoying and stupid. And it had, I mean, often in our politics social group, we are head in hands, you know, like, what are they doing? The government is Labour, Diz. The DOC works for Labour, you know. It's how it rolls, mate. Reformed privatisation insurance plan for healthcare scares me. My son has a very serious health condition and won't get coverage for pre-existing conditions. Very few people would. You know, people don't think about that. Because just think about when you go on holiday. You know, when you go on holiday and you take out coverage for, it's usually quite pricey just for a week or two or something like that. And all those things that you're excluded from. I used to work, like, I think I did a temp job in, it was holiday insurance. I did do a temp job at a holiday insurance place. And many of them, if you've had depression or anxiety, they wouldn't cover you for anything. No coverage whatsoever. Because you're seen as a greater risk of harming yourself. Yeah, I'll get what you mean, Diz, the civil service. Yeah, of course, yeah. No, I get it. But it's still in the Labour government. It's a shocking decision. They should bring back Alistair Campbell, you know. Controversial as he was, he was the best DOC Labour's ever had. You know. Yeah, no insurance company will insure people with if you've got previous to some extent, they won't have it. I really don't understand. One of the things that I wish Labour would really focus on and focus on fast is COVID fraud. Get on that as soon as possible. Recoup that money instead of, I don't know, trying to steal pennies off the disabled. You know, it's just enraging. I don't know what they're playing at. I really don't. But what I do know is the type of people that are going out rioting. I understand them better than people think that I might understand them. And I know exactly the kind of people that they are, because I've lived in Essex and I've grown up in Essex, and I've lived in Essex all of my life. And I know precisely what that type of guy is like that does that. Because that's the kind of guy that's I've had to deal with in every pub that I've visited, at every England game that I've tried to watch whilst getting groped or told to get my tits out for the lads. I know exactly what those men are like. And I know their motivations. I know their lack of imagination. I know that they've got nothing to show for themselves. And it's not just about the bigotry and racism. It's also about the misogyny of them. They're the kind of men that with a stale pint in one hand and a cigarette in the other would try it on with me when I was a 14-year-old girl in pubs. They're the kind of guys that will, like, literally, like when I was 14 years old in the pub with relatives, they would try it on with me. The same men that when I went to try and watch England play games or championships in my 20s would grope me and harass me. In my 30s, I was literally cornered outside a pub by a group of men like that, and it was like a bunch of women that intervened, not men passing by. It was women. The same men who were very likely spiked me during the World Cup. It's not just Essex, as the nationwide riots have shown. This is an issue that shows a severe lack of accountability across the board for men. And that is the blunt truth of it, that we have a male violence epidemic. And this is just one facet of it. And the thing is, they're being controlled by the other types of people that were in my village where I grew up, which were the privately educated, who would steal from the local shop even though they had the means to buy things, who would blame everything that went wrong on the working classes, who would go into professions and then fuck up and then get us to pay for it via austerity, like with the banking crisis. They have a go at being a banker and then tank our economy. And then they have a go at being a politician and kill loads of us with negligence and austerity. And then, they go to the Mail to pump out the next round of propaganda for the next right-wing outlet, and on and on and on it goes. They fail upwards. We're the ones that suffer, and we're the ones that are just pawns in their game, So there's two different types of shithouse here. There's those that probably have more opportunity than an asylum seeker's ever going to get in their life, who are making themselves the victims whilst weaponising things that affect women. And then there are the psychopaths orchestrating it all from their private members clubs whilst drinking scotch so expensive it would probably cost a week's universal credit payment. This is the problem that we have in terms of radicalisation never being any easier than it has been now too. Like it's never been easier now to radicalise people. It's almost instantaneous. And there's no accountability in society, but there's also wall-to-wall promotion of this via tabloids, via primetime politics shows where they give legitimacy to far-right conspiracy. And the lack of scrutiny falsely legitimises it as concerns. There's no concerns. They're not concerned about anything apart from scrabbling around in the gutter. And they're doing the bidding of people that are just stepping on their skulls to get to power. And it's ultimately a choice. It's a choice. You can choose whether or not to engage with bollocks. You can easily fact check everything nowadays. I could fact check something whilst on a stream. It's that easy if I had to. It's serfdom. It's serfdom. And the problem is that when you get rich enough, you can act with impunity. You've got basically like financial immunity. Like automatic diplomatic immunity once you get over a certain amount of money in the bank. And the private schools that generate the kind of socially acceptable sociopaths and extremists, that elevate them to this level, end up forcing the poor to pay for rich men's gambles again and again and again. And people fall for it because we're fucking weird about class in this country. And how? And why? In part because of the royal family, which creates an automatic hierarchy. That still think that they're superior based on their bloodline. They're rooted in racism. So it's not a protest to fall for the con of a rich man. It's not sticking it to the establishment to do the dirty manual work of people that are peak establishment. And it's not a working class duty to hate anyone that's not white either. It's not about girls, women. It's not patriotic to be racist. The hysteria is manufactured in clubs that we're not even allowed into. And we're not taught how to think critically in schools for a reason. We're not taught about politics at state schools for a reason. And the worst thing is that people can very easily overcome it. I grew up around people that would use all of the racist words. All of them. I'm not racist. I don't use those words. I don't buy that shit. You have to choose to. You make a choice to do that. And the real class traitors are those that are willing to scrabble about on their knees for the super rich. They're the real class traitors. And it makes me so angry. It's like you're willingly succumbing to Stockholm syndrome. You're choosing the easy route rather than doing anything difficult or meaningful. That's really sad, enraging, pathetic. And it's never ever going to benefit you. It's never going to trickle down to you. Ever. Anyway, rant over for now. Let me just catch up. I'm just going to have a little... I think I've got a little something in the chat there. 1 second. Ooh. Sweet Caroline. Thank you for the 149 super chat, Cavan lad. 100. I like the little black cat that you've included on that sticker. Very much appreciated. Thank you. And thank you, Yuri. The rich treat the law in the same way they treat champagne. They only order it when they need it. Very well said, yeah. Very well said. That's a very good line. I might steal that and pretend that I made it up. I wonder where you got that from. Did you get that from someone far more clever than me? Did you see that picture? I don't know if you guys saw that picture. I can't get the bad app up on my thing here. Did you see Robert Jenrick posting from Oasis? He posted live from Oasis, and Larry the cat, his official Twitter page, posted, "What's the story, boring Tory?" Underneath, it was a beautiful ratio, and then you had some bloody Tory lord or Duchess or whatever she is, like, what are they called? What are female lords called? Ladies, are they? Okay, that's not very nice, Larry. The real Larry is much nicer. And he posted simply a screenshot of Robert Jenrick painting over murals that would welcome children. Mine wasn't as good. Very few people could follow Larry. So I just went with champagne super wanker. 2 words, effective. I was going to go with don't look back, you wanker. Because his back was to the stage, but Larry cleaned up. Larry ate and left no crumbs, as the kids would say. So, as cats often do. Actually, no, cats leave loads of bloody crumbs. All the time. Cats are bloody crumb monsters. Did Oasis have a kiss cam? God, could you imagine? Hello, Sarah. Yes, I have seen. I've not seen the entire episode, but I have seen the bit where Trump gets mocked. Which is exactly what we need when you've got a situation where he's basically censoring everyone that criticises him. Because that's where we are now. I don't think Champagne Super Wanker's not as good. I do think Don't Look Back, You Wanker would probably have been better. But Oasis would have a Glasgow kiss cam. That's very good. You've been reading your Viz Profanosaurus. The Profanosaurus Rex was one of my treasured possessions. It taught me a lot about swearing. I think it's in the loft somewhere, but I'm not going up in the loft because the loft really scares me. So I'm going to try and be a bit more chilled out for a few minutes because I've got very ranty this evening because I'm testing out and flexing and preparing myself. This jumper makes me look massively fat. That's me. Like, the jumper isn't... I'm not that wide. But... thinking out loud again. I'm testing out my rant abilities because I'm coming back hard and strong tomorrow with some more videos. So, the Profanosaurus is genius. Bob Dylan hated Oasis. Isn't Bob Dylan still alive? I don't know. Who hated Oasis? Was it George Harrison? I don't hate. I've been taking the piss out of Oasis a lot, and I posted that David Stubbs review of Oasis, and it was really funny. It was objectively funny, and loads of people laid into me about it, and I was like, I really like Morning Glory. I love Morning Glory. I really do love it. Like, I think it's an album that will always, as soon as I hear the opening bars to Don't Look Back in Anger, I am transported back to house parties when I was like in my like teen years. You know, it's I really love that era of music. You know, I just think that Noel Gallagher is a tosser. But Liam Gallagher, I can't hate him because he's so funny. He's so unintentionally funny. And it's just I just laugh seeing some of the stuff that he talks about. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat, Kirsty. Where's Fred? Fred is probably waiting outside the door because I'm not letting him in tonight, because they take the piss. If you want me to let the cats in, I can let the cats in. If you want me to do that. But I'm a bit later than usual tonight, so I'm not going to go on for as long. And I think I have ranted quite a lot tonight. Yeah, I have got my mojo back. I'm doing a lot better. I've been back on my fitness. I've been eating very healthily. I'm aiming to get back into my old clothes and feel a lot better about myself and get super strong. I call it riot training. Probably shouldn't call it that anymore. But yeah, so I'm feeling a lot better after not recording any videos for like a month, apart from I've just been doing live streams. Yuri, anytime Nirvana comes on my Spotify, I'm transported to Reading 92. You and Aid, that's probably why you get on so well. He's a bloody grunger. Alright, I'm just going to turn my camera off quickly and open the door. Won't be a second. I don't want you to have to see me making sure that I'm not bearing my arse to the camera. So, kitties, Freddie. Knew they wouldn't be there. I knew they wouldn't be there. They're not having it. It's a laugh a minute around here. Oh, hello, Edie. Edith, we've got an Edith Piaf. I don't know if you can see me. And I need to make Tiny stop being a dick. Hi, Tiny. Unlock me. Thank you. Hi, Tiny. Unlock me. Good. Okay. Yeah, we've got an Edith. She's kind of like popped into the hallway, but she's not. I don't know if you can see her. She's not playing ball. Someone just asked what exercise I do. I do. Well, I've been doing yoga every morning, which is starting to kind of like help because I've got hypermobility. I don't know if you guys are familiar with hypermobility syndrome. It's when you're kind of like flexible, like too flexible. It's great in some aspects. It's very bad in others because my joints pop out. So I have had for the last, since March, due to lifting weights, what is called like a displaced shoulder. So it's like a partial dislocation. And they can't do anything with a partial dislocation. You have to basically get it strong so it just doesn't rub out. Rub out. Making it sound like I'm saying rubbing one out. But yeah, so I do. Diz also has hypermobility. So I do yoga, and I've been doing resistance exercises to strengthen up my shoulder. Another reason why I'm losing weight, because since I put on weight during the pandemic, I have had problems with my joints, loads of problems with my joints. So I'm shifting those extra pounds that I put on finally, years later. And I do dance. I love doing dance. So bad brains to Edith Piaf. That is the perfect combination. Well, I would say like I'm not as much of a fan of Bad Brains, although I appreciate their output. Yeah. Oh, Vegan Barnsley. Vegan Barnsley. Keep ranting, Tan. We love and support you. Well, I love and support you guys as much as I possibly can. Is there anything in particular? I'm going to throw this out to the people that are in the chat tonight. Is there anything in particular that you would like? I don't know if I can do a poll, but thank you, Vegan Barnsley. Can I do a poll? I don't know how to do this. I really don't know how to do it. So I'm not going to bother. But is there anything in particular that you would like me to be making content about this week? So I can, because I've got 4 different areas that I could focus on. You look great, thank you. It's not so much about looks. Like I'm not shifting the 2 stone that I put on during the pandemic for vanity reasons. I'm doing it for my health, because it's put pressure on my joints and it's made me have a lot of pain, and it's made my hypermobility worse, and it's made it really hard for me to exercise without injury. So it's getting in the way. Like, obviously, you know, it'll be nice to be able to fit into my old clothes again, but a big part of it is about being, you know, fit and healthy and strong and not hurting all the time. So, okay, so we've got some ideas coming in here. We have got Gaza. Absolutely, yeah. Jeffrey and Donald. Okay. American politics and Maxwell. Oh my God. Yeah, I've got some stuff to say on that. But they're not actually like... Jeffrey, Donald, Maxwell wasn't on my list. Bye, Wendy. Kitty say meow meow. Labour and upcoming tax rises. Right, okay, Paul Davis. Labour and upcoming tax rises if you're even capable of being critical of them. Have you watched my videos? Like any of my last 4 videos in which I have been consistently critical of the Labour Party, perhaps? To the point where I've had people that are like, there are some, they do exist. I've even had Starmerites laying into me, going, oh, you've changed your tune. No, they're in power now. Like, so I'm holding them accountable on their record. I constantly hold Labour accountable. Constantly calling out their behaviour over Gaza. Constantly calling out their, you know, treatment of trans people and the disabled. And it's made my channel less popular doing that. So, might want to watch that before you say that. Okay. Losing weight and losing the right weight. Yeah, for me, it's not so much even about like weight. It's about strengthening the muscles, you know. But I do need to lose, like I need to lose fat and strengthen the muscles. So, someone said here, I've dropped from 17 stone to 16 in 8 weeks. How? How did you do that? Very well done. I mean, that's very difficult. Sorry, I'm just catching up here. I think I've missed something. I've spent most of this stream criticising Labour, absolutely. Very true. Talk about how the right is saying it doesn't care about Corbyn, yet it's in meltdown over Corbyn. I'm loath to talk too much about Corbyn. Like, it's... Plus, you just end up getting the most, like, horrific shit. Like, I shy away from expressing... I have been pretty honest about my views on Corbyn tonight on a live stream. But it's, you know, it's it opens the door to a lot of really nasty shit when you criticise him. That was the start of 5 years of constant kind of smears and abuse online, was criticising Corbyn. So I think carefully about how I do it now, because they will just clip things out of context and try and set you up. So Okay. I lost 12 stone in 10 months. That must have been through GLPs, I imagine. Because it's extremely difficult to do that. D1 new old school, new old school. Interesting name. Your broadcast is brilliant. Real talk. Thank you. I only ever say what I genuinely think. I think every single politician is subject to scrutiny. They work for us. They work for us. You know. They take our tax money. So it's as simple as that. They are responsible to us. Pablo Zawapa. If you'd listened to what I'd said, mate, you'd know that this has got nothing to do with diets, and this has got everything to do with actual strength training. So I've not once said that I'm on a diet. I've said that I am doing fitness and strengthening my muscles. So that's not what I've said at all. Although pretty much if you are looking to lose weight, it is all about diet, frankly. Losing weight is difficult if you've got pain, because it really hampers your progress. The amount of pain that I've been in trying to replace my shoulder, like put it back in place, I mean, it clicks hideously. I mean, just doing that motion causes like pain all down into my arm. So it's clicking now. I can feel it. It's kind of like loosey-goosey. Still need to build the strength up in that. Anyway, I actually can't take ADHD meds, by the way. I've decided they make me too high. So I'm off the legal speed. So I'll be doing my workout tomorrow. I'll be firing up the cylinders for that before I do my... What did I just say? It's obvious that I'm not on ADHD drugs anymore. I will be doing a workout before I do my video tomorrow. So this is displacement. This is it's kind of partial dislocation. Like they couldn't pop it back in. It just keeps kind of popping in and out. So it's not like, what's that film where he whacks it into the wall and he fixes his own shoulder that way? So who's apologising and why are they apologising? Why are they apologising? Why are you apologising to me? Lethal Weapon. That's it. Anyway, I'm not going to stream for much. Like, I'm not going to stream for very, very, very long tonight because I'm tired. And I have been for hours watching England play tonight. But if you've got any questions you'd like to ask me over the next 10 minutes or so, then hit me with them. And I will, if they're funny or good, I will answer them. I've tried 3 different types of ADHD meds. They all make me super high. I can't deal with I don't like the feeling of it. Oh God, I'm sorry about the sciatica. The cats can come in if they want to, but they're... You guys only watch this for the cats, don't you? You're only here for my cats. I was tempted to make a joke then, but I'm not going to do it. Have you been asked to verify your age online yet? That's a trick question. Yes, on Blue Sky. On Blue Sky, I have. And I wish when it was verifying, it would tell me how old I looked or how young I looked. I was hoping for that. Like, you look young. Thank you, verifier. But that's the only place that I've been asked to verify my name. This is going to signal, this verification process, unless everyone obviously just gets a VPN, this is going to signal a return to finding mags, jazz rags, wank rags in the bushes again. I hope it's gonna bring back when I was in the, you know, when I was a weean in the 90s. You used to still find tits in bushes, bushes in bushes. You know, it was amazing. It was amazing. You just like you didn't know what you were gonna get. Although there was sadly like a lack of willies, you know, so if you're a woman, all you saw was tits, really. And, you know, but, yeah, like it was, we used to build dens in our village, and there would always be, you know, you'd go back there and there'd be like discarded cigarette packets and jazz rags. So, you know. Good times. Paul Edgington, I like a nice bush, yeah. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Me too. Pablo Zewapa. Pablo Zewapa. Thank you, darling, for the £5 super chat. I misheard, totally got it wrong on fitness, etc. Keep up the good work and love the lionesses. No need to thank you, but it's all right. You know, I couldn't, like, I'm not very good at dieting anyway, really. I always eat quite healthily. My only problem is that I eat too much if I do sometimes. But I'm totally in control of it at the moment and not having any of that going on. So I'm just eating loads of protein for my muscles to make them strong. John O'Connell, thank you for the £5 super chat. That's very kind of you. Guys, I'm not looking for tips. Thank you, but I'm not looking for tips. I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to do what I want to do healthily. But thank you, John, for that. I really appreciate it. No message, but just the love. Why do you always wear Adidas? Are you sponsored? If not, they should pay you. No, I'm not. I just love being a 90s throwback. And it's a reference to, more than anything, my love of, 90s and hip hop. So a lot of my Adidas clothing is actually secondhand from what they called like vintage shops and stuff. Like I just like the style. I've just always liked it. But I've got two looks really. It's either kind of like Adidas and kind of like loungy, kind of like street, kind of. No, I'm not street. I'm not down with the kids, man. This look, or I look like I like the dark academia look. I like the Sylvia Plath kind of like 50s plaid skirt, retro jumper. So that's more of a winter look though. The 90s kind of takes over a bit in the summer. So yeah, so I'm a chavvy oik, or I'm a 1960s college girl reject. So they're my two main looks really. I love vintage clothing and like scarves and stuff. No, I do not meditate. I've got ADHD. I've tried. I'm not very good at it, funnily enough. Mucky ducky. Thank you very much for the £149. 141 for the 149 super chat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Dublin, that's how you get yourself banned from my chat. So don't. I like to think I've got the hair for the Sylvia Plath look. So, Ivan, hello. Hello. I'm looking, like, another reason why I want to shift a bit of timber is because I used to love wearing, I really love, like, the cigarette pants, like the plaid or plaid cigarette pants that the women used to wear in the 50s. And I want to wear them again, but sadly, because I'm all thigh and arse and hip, when I try to wear those trousers nowadays, I just look like a knick-knack. So I want to, for vanity reasons, I guess, fit into those trousers again. Because I've got a couple of pairs of them and I can't even get them over my thighs. That's how kind of substantial my gains were during the pandemic. So I just want to be able to fit into my old things again, really. Okie doke. Right. Ivan Ambrose, thank you very much. I know nothing about football. That's my dad and brother's department. They know nothing about politics, though. If they explain the offside rule, it's no good. The same if I try and explain statutory instruments to them. I'm just trying to think about whether or not you could do some kind of like crossover. If you could get like a footballer that's really into politics. There are a few. I think there's Lineker knows a fair amount about politics, and he knows a fair amount about football. So maybe he could do some kind of like bite size thing. That's a possibility. I'm really confused about Alexander Hall's message there. Run DMC, pronounce it Adida. Adida. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. Oh, someone just saw what Dr. Dublin had to say, did they? Yeah, that was I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one. Oh, if you missed the start, Noel. I love the way that your name is like a Noel. You're like an Oasis person. Noel Story. What's the story, Noel? Story. Okie dokie. Mate, again, I don't need tips. I know what I'm doing. I've got a plan. I'm okay. So I'm all good. Okay, Yuri. I had a result yesterday as my kilt fits again. I thought you said kit for a second there. Your kilt. Oh. I can't do Scottish. Disgusting. Can't do it. Well done. I know how I got my hips and thighs. I know how it came about. I'm naturally quite, hourglass shaped anyway. I've always had kind of like quite broad hips. But I know how it got that way. Yeah, it was because I thought cinnamon rolls were hugs. Turns out they're not. Turns out they're not hugs. They're just cinnamon rolls. And if you eat too many of them, you get chubby. So, yeah, that's all it is. But I've got some really lovely things that I'm looking forward to wearing again when it's going to be a process. It's probably going to be a couple of months before I get to where I'm going. But I've started in the last month and a half and I'm making progress. So, Joe Davids, are you a hippie? Do I look like a fucking hippie? Seriously? No. Are you a Goggins? Tony Booth Leiden. Thank you very much for the contribution to Tan's training montage. Diz, I also love cinnamon rolls, but no more for me for a while. Benny, where do you see yourself in 5 years? On your mum? No, I'm joking. I don't know. Possibly not in Britain. I don't know, really. Who knows what the world will be like in 5 years? What is wrong with you? You think I look like a hippie? Chav hippie? Are you lot okay? Have you guys been sniffing the pens? Fucking chav hippie. Oh dear. What is your go-to karaoke track? Probably America. Fuck yeah. Sorry, I was answering Oliver Berry. Go-to karaoke track. Truth Hurts by Lizzo. I know that off by heart. Yeah, I know that off by heart. I don't know. Probably something by Queen, which I can't sing. No one can sing like Freddie Mercury. She's not a damn hippie. It reminds me of... Is it South Park where Cartman says, hippies piss me off? I used to be a bit of a little raver. I used to have kind of like poor quality dreads. Not proper dreads, like wraps. I had like really long hair. Double guitars, Super Tansky. When you were in Australia, were you ever in Melbourne? Did you ever wear a black kind of bowler hat? I was kind of on the suburbs of Australia, and no, I've never worn a bowler hat. It's a very specific question. I will survive. They don't affect me that much. I don't wear hats. I'm not very good at wearing hats. My go-to karaoke song is any pop song that I can lay mock death metal vocals to. Wow. Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch the what's it called? The South Park episode. I haven't watched them for ages. But anyway, I am gonna wrap up when it hits 10:30, I think, which is soon. Thank you all very much. I can pull off a trilby. Just about. But yeah, thank you for joining a bit later than usual tonight. I was obviously distracted. It's been a really positive day in terms of the Lionesses winning. I'm going to be covering the reality of the Epping protests this week. I have never been in the bean aisle in my life. No, I don't even know what beans are, frankly. I'll be covering all of that bullshit and pointing out the facts amongst the nonsense. I've never really thought about doing merch. No. Why are people trying to make me look like a bloody pirate? A fedora would suit you, so would an eye patch. Oh no, tough without an eye patch. But no, anyway, I'm massively distracted. Thank you for watching and tuning in tonight, but it's getting mega late. So thank you to Diz for moderating. Thank you to all of you legends that sent a super chat. Thank you for listening to me rant and for putting up with the fact that the first, I don't know, what was it, 15 seconds of my stream was completely muted. I'm going to go back and see if I can edit that. I don't think I can. It's there for the world to see forever. Yeah. Got you, double guitars. But no, thank you very much. And I will be back this week with videos. Actual shorter videos, not just ranting into a live stream. So until next time, thank you. Good night. Oh my God! Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you very much. Just as I was about to say goodnight, he pops in with a £2, or they pop in with a £2 super chat saying, why do all the far right people have 0.1 out of 10 looks? Because they're thick and it shows on their face. I don't know. But thank you. Right as I was finishing. Right, I was literally just about to push the outro music. Or the outro. A. Thompson and Other Disappointments, by the way. He made that monstrosity that I play at the beginning and the end of my streams. So go and give him a bloody follow, won't you? But until next time, thank you, good night, and suck your mum.
It's the Sunday service. The super dance key. This could be a warning. Doobie doobie doo.